Alright, I'll apologize now for the video quality. I'm just using the cell phone here. So we've got the computer right next to the laser. First thing I did when I came in is I made sure the laser was turned on. So I'm coming along this side here, across the back, and there's the power switch right there. Right now it's in the on position. Off, on. When I turn it on, I need to make sure that the lid is closed. If the lid was open, this whole cutting tray would be all the way up and we wouldn't be able to use it. So we need to make sure we drop this down. That'll bring the cutting surface all the way to the bottom and get the laser ready to go. Come over here to my computer, wake it up, and your password is in fact also teacher. And we are in and ready to go. Connection with engraver broken. That's right, because we turned it off and disconnected it. So, off. I'm going to come over here. If I see this USB icon, I'll click on here. It's going to start looking for the printer. If you heard those two beeps behind me, that's the printer talking to the computer. And there we go. Now we are in good shape. Next piece I need to do is grab my thumb drive and put this into the computer. There is a USB cable just sitting out here ready for you. That's the whole purpose of this one, is that it's ready to go. Alright, thumb drive is in, and I should get this pop-up right here. And conveniently enough, just like on the 3D printers, the top file is my desk.svg that I made in Inkscape. I'm going to double click, and that's going to open up in Inkscape down here. And there is my file. You can't really see the lines terribly well, but I promise you they are all there. All I need to do from here is go up to File and say Print. We're printing to the Trotec engraver. If I look at my preferences on the printer here, there we go. We're going to want to make sure this says minimize to job size. That way we don't waste any material. Don't get extraneous garbage in there. Material-wise, we are using wood, and we can change this over down towards the bottom. We've got plywood. Lovely. These are not going to make a huge difference on our lives right now, and we are good to go. This button here is what sends it to the actual software to print. And print. Now if I look down on the bottom again, I see my flashing job control icon, and there's the whole interface. I can go ahead and I can take this file, delete. Sure I want to delete it? Yep. They've already made their cutout. So I'm going to go over here and say, alright, there's my file. I'm going to double click. By double clicking, that automatically sets my file up in the upper left hand corner for my print. If I click my eyeball, hey look, there's all of my lines ready to be cut out. If I look up top, red lines will be cut at 100% power and 0.6% speed. That's how long it'll take to get through. Lastly, I'll come over here and I'm going to click my update button, and this whole process is going to take about 9.5 minutes. I'll come down here and I'm going to grab my materials. 1/8 inch plywood. I got a board ready to go. And this is, again, I'm going to go all the way in the upper left-hand corner. Drop that back down. I come over here, and I need to adjust this height setting. So I want this at 1.97. Oop, I goofed that one up. It's X to 0, Z at 1.97. And then I have to click this little crosshair here. You're going to get this message every time. This lens wants to be at about 2 inches. We tend to run it a little bit lower than that. It's worked out well for us. Yes, that's what I want. And now if we come over here, we can see ever so slowly that table is making its way up. Once it gets up to the right height, I'm going to double check to make sure that I'm not going to catch the material. So to do that, I'm going to use these red and black buttons here around that flashing green dot. So as I slide over, just making sure that I'm not going to run into the material anywhere along the way, and I'm good. There's a tiny little red laser. That dot right there is telling you where you're starting. So again, we make sure we are in that upper left-hand corner. And I can come over here and press play. And here we go. It's going to go ahead and cut through all of my parts, and once it's done, I'm going to stay here and keep an eye on it. Once that's done, I'll be able to take my parts out, put any scrap pieces into the garbage, and get ready for assembly.